Hello students, we have started unit 3 of DBMS, that is the DBMS keys. DBMS keys. So we are using different keys in the database table to relate tables. By the help of these keys we can relate tables, means database tables. For database table can be related with each other having these keys. There are several types of keys. In the previous video classes we have known there are several types of keys that are used to combine different database tables. So already we have learned primary key, foreign key and also candidate key. Okay, so now we will learn about the alternate key. Okay, so next key is your alternate key. Next key, this is your alternate key. Okay, so alternate key is a column or group of column. Alternate key is a column or group of column. Okay, it is a column or a group of a column in a table that uniquely identify every row, that uniquely identify a row in a table. So this alternate column is nothing but it is a column or a group of columns, okay, that uniquely identifies a row in a table. Okay, so a table can have multiple choices for a primary key. Okay, a table can have multiple choices of a primary key, but only one can be set as a primary key. Only one key is set as a primary key, but choice is there. Okay, so all the keys which are not primary key, all the keys which is not a primary key is the alternate key. Okay, is the alternate key. So the key which is not primary key, the key is not primary key. Though these keys are uniquely identified. The keys are uniquely identified, but group of columns which is which can identify a row and which is the key which is not primary key is the alternate key. Suppose 2 or 3 columns, they uniquely identify a row. Okay, uniquely identify a row. Only one of the key must be primary key, but a group of columns they act as a primary key. So only primary key, except only primary key, all other keys are the alternate key. Okay. Suppose 3 columns are uniquely identify a row. I will give the example. Suppose 3 columns is that uniquely identify a row in a table. Out of the 3 keys, only one must be the primary key. Okay, rest 2 columns are the alternate key. Okay, this is the concept. For example, a student table. In a student table, for example, in a student table, student ID is the primary key. Suppose for example, a student table, okay, so a student table, suppose 3 columns they identify, like student ID, roll number and email. Suppose student ID, roll number and email. Suppose these three columns that uniquely identify. These three columns that uniquely identify to a particular student. So only this student ID may be the primary key. It may be the primary key. Okay, and all others are the alternate key. But combiningly, they act as a primary key. Combining the uniquely identify. Only one of the key must be the primary key. All other keys, those are uniquely identify a particular row, that is the alternate key. Okay, is it clear to all? So only one of them is the primary key. All others, those are uniquely identify a row in a table, that is the alternate key. Okay, so this is the alternate key. And next important next key we will learn, that is the super key. Next one is your super key. Super key. So this super key is a group of single or multiple keys. It is a single or multiple number of keys. Okay, it is a single or multiple number of keys which identify a row in a table. It is single or multiple keys. It is single or multiple keys that identify uniquely. Okay, that identify a row in a table. That identifies in a row, that identify rows in a table. There are multiple keys, but alternate key is the multiple columns. Alternate key is the multiple columns, but these are multiple keys. These multiple keys identify the row in the table. Okay. So a super key may have additional attributes that are not needed for unique identification. That means this super key may not need to unique identification. So for unique identification, it may not need. Okay. So unique identification is not compulsory for this super key. Okay. So it is a super key is a set of primary or candidate key. So that we can say the super key may be the set of, it may be the set of primary or candidate key. Okay. So a super key may be a set of primary key, or candidate key. Okay, or candidate key. Primary key or candidate key. So this is the super key. Okay, it is the set of attributes that are uniquely universal identifiers. Okay, it is a set of attributes. Otherwise, you can call the set of attributes it is the set of attributes for universal identification. Okay, uniquely universal identification. Universal identification. We are using for universal identification. Okay, so it is may not needed for unique identification. Okay, this is additional attribute. Super key may have some additional attribute that are not needed for unique identification, but this set of attributes is for universal uniquely identification of a record. Okay. For example, a table. Suppose a table, employee table. Suppose example, employee table. For example, an employee table. Suppose employee ID, Aadhaar number, name and designation. Suppose employee ID, name, Aadhaar number, designation are the attributes. Okay, designation, name, Aadhaar number are the attributes. So in this relation, employee code, Aadhaar number are super keys. So here this is employee code, employee ID, and Aadhaar number are the universal identification. Okay, that is the universal identification. These are called the super key. This employee code, employee ID, and Aadhaar number. These are the super key. These are the super key. Okay. So in this example, employee ID and Aadhaar number are the super key. Okay. So this super key is uniquely universal identification. We are using a multiple number of keys for universal uniquely identification of a row in a table, that is the super key. So in this employee table, employee ID and Aadhaar number, these two combination of these two keys that universal uniquely identifies a particular employee. So this is universally uniquely identification identifying keys that the employee ID and Aadhaar number can be the super key for this example. Okay, so it is defined as a set of attributes within a table that can uniquely identify each row within a table. So this is the super key. Okay. So next one is a compound key. Next key is your compound key. Next one is your compound key. So this compound key has two or more attributes. There are two or more attributes. Two or more attributes that allows us to uniquely recognize a specific record. That uniquely or to uniquely recognize a specific record. Specific record in a table. Okay. Specific record in a table. Okay. So it is possible that each column may not be the unique by itself. Each record may not be the unique by itself. So within the database, however, when combined with other column or columns, this combination of composite keys becomes unique. Okay, that is the compound key. So whenever a single key may not be used for unique identification, so this combination of attributes, combination of keys may be considered the compound key because they combiningly identifies uniquely of a record in a table. Combination of more than two attributes or combination of attributes, if they are uniquely identifying a record, that is the compound key. Okay, which is compound is combination, combinations of keys, more than one keys combiningly combinedly they will identify particular record. That is the compound key. Okay, but combination of these keys is unique. Combination of these keys or combination of these attributes maybe is the unique identification. The purpose of a compound key is to uniquely identify each row, each record in a table. Okay, the purpose of this compound key is to uniquely identify each record. This is used to uniquely identify each record in a table. Each record in a table. For example, a table order. Example table. Suppose order. Okay, English name is order. Suppose in the order table, order number and product ID. Order number and product ID, product name and quantity. Suppose these are the attributes for the table order. Okay, so order number may not be unique because the same order number of product can be written. So more than one product there may be a single order, and a single product can be ordered by several customers. So a product ID can have more than one order number, and a order number can have more than product ID. So each product ID and or order number cannot be considered as the primary key. So order number cannot be primary key because suppose in the order number there are number of products. In a single order we can have multiple products, and a single product can have multiple order number. Okay, a single product can have multiple order number. Suppose 5 customers are purchasing same product, means the product ID will be same, but they have multiple number of order number, multiple number of quantity. Okay, so order number and product ID, they cannot, both are not sufficient to create the primary key. So this is combination of order number and product ID. This combination of order number and product ID can uniquely identify. So this product number and order number are the combiningly they uniquely identify. So these are the compound keys. Okay, these are the compound keys. So whenever a single column or single key cannot able to universally identify or identify a particular record, so it helps for another key. So this combination of these two key, order number and product ID, they combiningly identify uniquely a particular record. So this combination of these keys are the compound key, which is used in the table. Okay. Next one is a composite key. This is the compound key. So more than one number of attributes, they will act as a unique identifier of a record. That is the compound key. And then next is your compound key. Okay, so this is compound key. So as it is named compound, so it is the combination of two or more columns. So it is a combination of two or more columns. It is a combination of two or more columns. They uniquely identify a row in a table. So this combination of a row or more columns, they uniquely identify a same concept, same unique identify a particular record. What the thing is that how they identifies uniquely according to their characteristics. They will consider the compound key or composite key or alternate key, okay, or super key. Okay. So the combination of columns guarantee uniqueness. So this combination of columns, they guarantee uniqueness. Guarantee for uniqueness means uniquely identify the record. Okay, uniquely identify the record. So the combination of columns guarantee uniqueness. Through individually uniqueness is not guaranteed. But individually uniqueness is not guaranteed. We will see for the example, uniquely they are not guaranteed as uniqueness, but guarantee for uniqueness. Okay. So the combination of columns guarantee for uniqueness, though individually uniqueness is not guaranteed. Hence, they are combined to unique identifying records in a table. Okay. So combining they will uniquely identify a record in a table. Okay. The difference between compound and composite key is that any part of the compound key can be a foreign key. Okay. Any part of the compound key, any part of the compound key can be the foreign key, but cannot be the composite key. Any part of the difference between compound key and composite key is that. So this is a composite key. So this is the composite key. This is the composite key that guaranteed for uniqueness, but individual record is not. And the difference between compound and composite is that, okay, difference between compound and composite is that any part of the compound key, here, any part of compound key, not composite. Any part of the compound key can be a foreign key. It can be a foreign key. But any part of the composite key cannot be the foreign key, cannot be the primary key for another table. Means part of the compound key may be the primary key of another table, but part of the composite key cannot be the primary key. This is the difference. Okay, it cannot be, but any part of this composite key cannot be foreign key. So the part of the composite key cannot be the foreign key, but part of the compound key will be the foreign key. Rest of all are same. Okay. So we can see in practical any example, different examples. So part of the compound means more than one column. Composite means more than one column. If the part of this compound key be the foreign key of another table, that is the composite key. When the part of the key cannot be the primary key of another table, that cannot be the foreign key. So this is the compound key. So this is the difference between compound key and composite key. You can see in your real life example. Okay. Last key, that is your surrogate key. That is your surrogate key. Another key that is used in a database management system, that is a surrogate key. So an artificial key, it is an artificial key, an artificial key, it is an artificial key which aims to unique identify. That aim is to unique identify each record. Okay, each record in a table. So this artificial key that aims to unique identify each record in a table. Each record can be unique identified by this artificial key, that is surrogate key. Okay. So this type of key are unique because they are created when we don't have any natural primary key. So this surrogate key is required when we don't have any natural primary. Whenever we don't have any natural primary key, then this artificial key must be created, which is uniquely identified key, that is the surrogate key. Okay. They don't lend any meaning to data in a table. Surrogate key is usually an integer. Okay. The surrogate key is usually is a data in a table, that is the number. The surrogate is usually a integer. It may be integer. So this artificial key or surrogate key, usually it is a integer. Okay. For example, show shift timing of different employees. For example, suppose shift timing of an employee. Okay, shift table. So the duty table, and we are considering the shifting time. So there is a chart table we are creating for duty. For this relation duty, suppose there are first name, last name, start time, end time. Okay, first name, last name. Okay, start time, end time for the duty. End time may be used for shifting of employees, shifting job, shifting and timing. First name, last name, start time and end time. On which time employee starts his job, starts his duty and ends in that with this duty in this time. So this is the start time, means the starting of employee duty, and end time at the end, the shifting job for the employee. So here duty name, first name, last name in a duty chart for the employee. In this case, surrogate key is needed to unique identify each employee duty chart table. So suppose this is duty chart table. In this duty chart table, there is a attribute like first name, last name, start time and end time. So here surrogate key is allowed. Okay, first name, last name, start time and end time. So we can have different shifting timing of different employee. So all these keys can be considered the surrogate keys, because here no any key is the primary key. No one is the primary key. No one. So first name cannot be the primary key, last name cannot be the primary key, start time cannot be the primary key, end time cannot be the primary key. But all combination of these four all keys, they can uniquely identify a particular record in a duty chart for the employee. Okay, so primary key, surrogate key are allowed when no property has the parameter of the primary key. So here no key be the primary key. Though all four columns, four keys, they uniquely identify, but any one of these keys cannot be the primary key. That's the surrogate key. Okay, there is no natural primary key. For combination of these four keys, they can uniquely identify a particular record, but any one of them, any one of these columns cannot be the primary key. So these are the surrogate key. Okay. Now when the primary key is too big or complicated, also it can be used when primary key is too big or complicated. At that time, we can accept as this surrogate key to uniquely identify. So normally all keys are used to unique identification. So how we are uniquely identified? So that we can relate between tables. So we are using this much of database tables to relate these keys to relate database tables. How we are relating different database tables. Okay, so this is all about the different keys that are used in database table. There are several types of keys we have explained briefly, and these different keys will be used in database table. Okay, so watch this video, and already I have sent all the description for different keys in the previous video classes description. So all the things already sent to you. So follow all this new concept of different keys of database management system where we are using to unique identify. All keys aim is to unique identify, but how they are uniquely identify a particular record in a table or a record in a tables, that is a different way. So they have a different name. So alternate key, composite key, candidate key, or compound key, or surrogate key. That is also a combination of different keys. Main aim is to uniquely identify a row or a record in a database table. Okay, so follow all the things and prepare some all the notes that is given to you. You will be very clear about different keys we are using in database management system. Okay, thank you for watching.